Welcome back to David Palmer's Drink of the Day. I took a couple days off after we went and visited our foal and had the great, awesome experience of rebirth and renewal. And then I just kind of got down a little bit on the internet, seeing the negativity floating around, people saying things and using what I think is the worst aspect of internet and Google searches, and that is that you can find anything to support your negative feelings and ideas, and you're not really using science, because there's always going to be somebody that'll tell you something out there that meets what you want to hear. And because of that, I decided I shouldn't be pessimistic anymore. I should try to look up a little bit, and that's the reason today's drink is called the Optimist. It's been around for quite a while, and I thought about the Optimist. I first sat there and thought those stories that my father used to read to me when I was a child. Winnie the Pooh in the 7-Acre Wood, and Christopher Robin, and Tigger, and obviously the consummate pessimist, Eeyore. Oh bother, the world is coming to an end, nothing is good. But to counter that, we always had Winnie the Pooh, the optimist, the guy who really made things and looked up all the time. So let's start this drink off. Well, let's just say a little bit about Winnie the Pooh first. I think there's a great quote from him. Winnie the Pooh said in one of the books, "You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." So with that, let's start our Optimist drink. Let's put some ice in our shaker and get that ready to go. We've got a couple nice ingredients here today. Now this drink calls for sherry. I'm going to use a Madeira instead. One, because I don't have sherry, and two, they're fairly close. They're both a little fortified wines, and it calls for 2 ounces of sherry. What do we always say? We're making 2 drinks. So let's go ahead and go with 4 ounces of sherry, or Madeira, as we said today. So we've got that in our glass, and let's go with, it says for a ½ ounce of Amaro de Quintessencia, which we've talked about before. So we're going to go with a full ounce of that. There we go. These will mix very nicely because of what they're made of. Now, this is an interesting one. Now, it calls for grade B maple syrup. Now, what I've done, if you pour straight maple syrup into this ice, it will seize up. I've warmed it up significantly so that it's nice and light. It's still going to seize up if I don't get to it quickly. So I'm going to put that in last. Let's now go with our bourbon before we do that. An ounce of bourbon, we're going to go with 2 ounces. 2 ounces. We've said it before, Old Forester bourbon on that. And then it's a dash of Reagan's Orange Bitters. We're going to go with 2 dashes, obviously. No, let's go with 4. Give it a little orange flavor. We've got that in there. Now let's go ahead and shake this thing up a little bit. Seeing a trend to a lot of these drinks. Now these drinks go into what's called a Nick and Nora glass. Some people might call it a dessert cup or something like that. Let's go ahead and put them into here. And they're garnished. You know what we forgot? We're going to start over again. We forgot our syrup. I don't usually do that, but remember I said I was going to save it till last? We're going to need that to offset some of the other flavors. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. There we go. Syrup gives it a little more froth too on that. Now these go into these cups, as I said earlier, Nick and Nora's, or some people call them dessert glasses, parfaits, garnished with an orange. Remember, squeeze it. We could throw these in. I'm going to give it a nice color on the side if it'll hang. Another one, squeeze it over the top. Hang it over the side. Now go ahead and get a close-up of those drinks. Remember, we're having the Optimist today because there's never ever been a pessimist that has ever discovered the secrets of the stars, sailed uncharted lands, or opened a new heaven to the human spirit. Only optimists find things like that because they're looking forward. They're looking for the positive. Noam Chomsky said, "Optimism is a strategy for making a better future, because unless you believe that the future can be better, you are unlikely to step up and take responsibility for making it so." I hope that you love your friends and family. I hope that you take an opportunity to like us and subscribe to us on YouTube so we can put more content out. And make sure you have a bourbon.